Hey, how you guys doing? It's your boy Beastly back at it again with another episode in the Potential Prodigy series. If you're new and this is the first time watching me, first of all, appreciate you. But this is the series where I show you what stats to look for in the scouting report. That way you can recruit as many generational players like Dante Hyde as seen on screen here, or elite dev or star dev prospects. That way you can get the leg up on the CPU and or your league mates, whether you're in online or offline dynasties. Huge shout outs to all 5,700 of you beautiful bastards who watched my previous deep dive on pass rushers. All that is on a playlist on my YouTube channel. So if you ever have any questions on how I do stuff, there's more likely a series or a video already on that for you there somewhere on my channel. But everything will be linked in the description down below. Appreciate you guys. And also special shout outs to the 945 of you guys who liked the video. The like goal for that video was 750, I do believe. And as per usual, you guys cracked it super early on. I appreciate that. When any of my videos reach the like goal, I upload the stats from these videos into my CFB cheat sheet on my Discord. That way, if you guys want to use them later on down the road, you don't got to rewatch the full video. You can just kind of go back there and you know, look at the numbers there. But Beastly, what do you mean your cheat sheet stats? So as you guys can see, I already have the quarterbacks, at the time of me recording this intro, the quarterbacks and corners on the board. I will be having running backs and defensive linemen up there as well soon. And when this video cracks 1,000 likes, pass protecting right tackles and or left tackles, that data would be uploaded here as well in the cheat sheet. So Discord is completely free. Link in the description. Come join the fam where you guys can vote on future streams, future videos, yap, and much, much more. So yeah, with all that said, let's hop right into the video. So after getting that a very long-winded intro out the way, also, quick note, this video, as you guys can see, is not 3.5 hours long. Chat convinced me that I should probably try a different format or styling for these videos. So for the next week or so, we're going to be testing the waters. Normally, I make really long videos and chapter them. That way people can find the desired archetype for the research they would like for the desired thing they want. For this, I'm just going to do a individual video for each individual archetype, and we will go from there. If you guys like this style of content, be sure to smash a like and leave me a comment down below. If not, if you like the much bigger videos and you can go filter by the rest, also let me know. Up on the chopping blocks today, we have specifically the pass protecting tackles, in which most of the data was very on the nose. It was very obvious, kind of like their defensive line brethren. However, there were some little minor differences that did kind of shock me. So be sure to stick around later in this video and see if you agree or disagree. So for starters, we have Dante Hyde, who's easily the best tackle, best pass protecting tackle I've ever scouted. This dude's a stud, and I really wish I had him in my online dynasty because he's generational talent. He's a super stud. I would be willing to bet he has like borderline no skill caps whatsoever. He's just disgusting. But Beastly, we don't understand how he's good because we have no reference points. I got you guys. So the data for pass protecting tackles, the awareness ranges from the mid 60s to the low 70s. The run block power, run block finesse, and regular run blocking all range from the low 60s to the low 70s. The pass block power, and pass block finesse also range from the low 80s to the mid to high 80s. Impact block ranges from the high 60s to the low 80s, the massive range there. And then lastly, agility and acceleration range from the low to mid 60s to the mid 70s / low 80s. Pretty wide range there. But all those are just numbers. They're just words on a piece of paper. What do they mean, basically? I got you. So look at Dante Hyde, for example, on screen. Dante Hyde, 71 awareness. He's 1 awareness away from tying the record from the best I ever found being 72 awareness. Cool. Run block being a 67. Sounds bad. And in the grand scheme to the other archetypes, it is kind of bad. But for pass blocker specifically, that's just a couple points away from capping out at the best I ever found. So that's really cool. Run block power and run block finesse, not good, but certainly not bad either. It's kind of in that mid-range where it, could be better, could be worse. Not the worst thing in the world. But he's top 1% stats for pass block power, pass block finesse, and impact block and acceleration. So the entire back half of this guy's kit is just insane for the stats he has, along with 70 agility, which doesn't sound very great, but the range for agility is between 60 and 74. So him having 70 agility is insane. Almost every numerical stat he has is insane. Speaking of stats that are insane, if you guys watch the running back video, again, link in the description with the whole playlist for these previous videos, you guys know my disdain I have for EA Sports and these stupid scouting reports because they'll show you stats that don't matter for archetypes that don't matter. Like, why are you showing me the catching stat for a contact-seeking running back? They can't catch the football. Why are you showing me that? As you guys could probably guess, there is no strength stat on the scouting report. And spoiler alert, there won't be for pass protectors because EA labels the strength stat as primarily a running stat, which is dumb. I don't think whether you're running or passing, strength is just strength. And you could, again, tell that with how they do their defensive linemen that mirror the offensive line stats as well. The archetypes that are made to stop the run, example, the run stuffing edges and or the pure powers have better block shed than like the speed rushers as an example. Same thing applies here. Because they're not meant to be good at running/run blocking, their strength's not going to be good. Or you would think. The ranges for the strength vary between 77 being the weakest tackle I found, all the way up to 88. That's right, your ears heard that correctly. 88 strength, which is bonkers that these dudes can be like top end strength wise as strong as other archetypes and they're supposed to be weak, which is just wild. The other stat that EA doesn't tell you, which is a very integral stat, is lead blocking. And again, EA labels lead block as more of a run blocking stat, and obviously the pass protectors will struggle against run blocking, so they don't give it to you. But what I find weird is, again, lead blocking is a very integral stat because there's many situations where your lineman would be leading a block. So it's just weird that these two stats don't show up. Lead block can range between 67 being on the lowest I have found and 78 being the highest I have found. Which all of these numbers sound relative and, good, bad, yada, yada, yada. But considering this guy is elite dev, I would be shocked if he has any skill caps whatsoever. So you could very easily get him to just 99 everything stats. Like 99 strength, or at least like 97, 98, like damn near maxed out strength, maxed out run blocking, obviously maxed out pass blocking. Like, this dude's insane. Again, to repeat myself, he is the best tackle I have ever seen spawn. Like, he is out of this world. I kind of feel bad for leading off this video with Dante Hyde, just because every other tackle that comes after him is going to be inferior, because that's just how generational prospects work. But don't worry, as always, your boy Beastly has a plethora of examples in the same class that only 8 tackles spawn, so keep this in mind. 8 tackles, left/right tackle, 4/5 star, pass protecting tackles, only 8 spawned in this class. 2 of them are elite dev. Wild. A quarter of this class is elite dev. So if you got both of these players, Dante Hyde and Chad Thrash, W names by the way, you would have tackles for your entire online or offline dynasty till you basically got tired of them. Like these dudes are insane. I just covered the in-depth stats for Hyde. I will be a little quicker for Thrash just because they're both really good, and I think you guys can kind of tell why they're good. For starters, awareness, tied for the best awareness at 72 I ever found. Crazy there. Upper percentile run blocking, literally almost capped out. The best I found there, I think, was 70. Yeah, it was 70. He's at 69, so he's 1 point away from capping that out. Again, not good, not bad, just kind of in the middle range there for run block power and run block finesse. But we get to the other rest of the stats. 85 pass block, upper percentile, pass block power, pass block finesse, upper percentile, impact blocking, insanely good. Agility, again, not like terrible, but not good either. That mid-range there where it's like 60 on the low end and 74 on the high end. So he's kind of like upper middle, but still not too shabby. And then obviously 81 acceleration, which is just absolute, insane that the range for this is between 67 and 81, and he tied with 81. So this guy's a freak. The guy above him's a freak. Honestly, I would go as too far as to say both of them are generational talents. I think Dante Hyde is just a little better, which is funny because Dante Hyde is the national 11th person and Chad is 5. In the terms of the state, 1 is 1, 1 is 2. In terms of the position, he is 2, he's 4. So like, I always make fun of people who put stock in these useless stats. The better guy is the guy with worse state rankings, go figure. But yeah, Dante Hyde and Chad Thrash are insane. But to quote the GOAT himself, Billy Mays, shout out all my millennials out there who stood up late on many, many school nights watching those fun little Cartoon Network ads. But wait, there's more. I actually found another elite dev prospect. That's right, count it up, kids. There's not 1, not 2, but there are 3 elite dev pass protecting tackles in this class of only 8 people. That's like 30-something% of this class are elite devs, which is nutty. Now, for the record, Dakota over here has the worst of the three. He is the runt of the litter, but I would be willing to bet most people would still love to have him on the team, considering, again, he's elite dev with virtually no skill caps. Just because we've already covered the other two, you guys can kind of do it for yourself, a little metric, a little self-quiz for you. Overall, he's pretty good. He does lack in some areas. He is very good at other areas. Overall, he's not bad. Obviously, he's elite dev, but compared to, generational 5 stars, he just can't keep up. But Beastly, this class, yeah, it has 3 elite devs, but there's no way it can have more absolute studs, right? Like 3 has to be the cap. Well, Zach McGee and Diego Casper, as you guys can both see, are both star devs. So theoretically, if you would have recruited all 5 of these guys, you could have replaced them in the offseason at your left guard, right guard, and center, and had 5 star/elite dev tackles. And if, again, online or offline dynasty, these dudes would have absolutely backpacked you for several years. Like, you guys could have gone crazy. And if you run my coach build, shout out my previous video, my How To Dynasty series, you could easily cap these guys out at a 99 overall their rookie year or their freshman year. It would just be insane. Very quickly, we'll cover Diego Casper just because, again, you can kind of see the stats they have, where they lack, where they don't lack after doing this a few times. But I figured it's pretty good for the video, so might as well have different examples of the good, the above average, the average, and the absolute dog crap. Diego Casper, really quickly, awareness, almost bad, right? 64, the lowest I ever found. His is 66. That's pushing pretty bad. Run blocking of a 64, again, not good, not bad, just in that mid-range. Run block power of a 67. That's, again, mid-range, not good, not bad, just kind of there. Same thing with run block finesse. Not bad, not good. Pass block, bad. 81 is the worst you could possibly have, and he has 81, so that's pretty bad. However, Diego Casper does make up for it with upper percentile pass block power, pass block finesse, and acceleration with decent impact blocking. And, for agility, this can not pretty good either. So if Casper had just a little more agility, just a little more pass blocking, if he had just a little more stats in a little more areas, he would obviously be elite dev and not star dev. But as the funny internet phrase goes, if my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike. If Diego had better stats, he wouldn't be star dev, he'd be elite dev. But I think we all can agree, he's still pretty flipping good. But Beastly, we get it, 2 star devs, 3 elite devs, this class is insane. These final 3 players, they have to be normal devs, right? Right? Like, EA wouldn't bless you with 8 players of an 8-person recruiting class and all of them having dev traits, right? Right? Bam, Matt Woods, impact dev. Bam, Garrett Romano, impact dev. And bam, Jeremiah Haslam, impact dev. Your eyes don't deceive you. This entire class has a dev trait. So whether you're watching my streams, you're watching my videos, I always love and I always hashtag, not sponsored, but I am kind of sponsored, the pass pro tackles. They're my favorite, right? I love pass pro players, whether they're my guards, my center, my tackles, whatever. Pass pro are just my jam. And I always have had a good record of getting good pass pro players. And this is kind of why. Obviously, archetypes do have good players. There's bad players, right? Even though this class of 8 players is absolutely loaded with talent. I can show you a class of 20 people later on in this video where like 3 of them have a dev trait. Don't just blindly associate pass protectors equal dev trait. That's not how it works in this game. However, if you do know what you're looking for, they are probably the easiest offensive line group to spot. Because just like how for speed rushers, you need speed and you need finesse move, just like for power rushers, you need power moves, right? For these certain defensive line archetypes, you kind of can get away with looking at 1 or 2 stats. The same logic applies here. If you have good pass blocking stats, obviously you're going to be a good pass blocker most of the time, right? If you have someone with generational or even upper percentile pass blocking stats, you can kind of ignore the rest and go from there. Now, will your odds be 100%? No, nothing in this game is 100%. But you can drastically improve your odds getting the players that fit the things you want. As you can see with Matt Woods here being impact F, he's like the worst of everyone I'm going to show you here. But still, Matt Woods is by means no slouch. Awareness, very good. Just a few points away from being maxed. Run block does suck. Run block finesse does suck. Run block power, that's in the middle, right? Not good, not bad, just in the middle. Pass block, 2 points away from minning out. That's not good. Pass block power is minned out at 82, which is terrible. Pass block finesse is, again, 2 points above minning out, which is pretty bad. Impact block's pretty good. Agility kind of sucks at 62. The min there is 60, so he's a few points from minning out there. And lastly, acceleration of a 67 is also minned out. So for most of his stats is either the bare minimum they could physically have, or he's just slightly above that, which would probably be the reason why he's impact dev and not normal dev. Because if he was obviously normal dev, his stats would be minned out. But yeah, this class is insane. And don't worry, I got more to show you. And so let's go hop right into those other classes. So to give you an example of what a normal dev would look like, we have a guy by the name of John McGinnis over here. Let's go quickly run through his stats. Awareness, hey, I'll give him that much. That's pretty good at 71. That's pretty nice. Run blocking, again, not good, not bad, kind of in that mid-range. Could be better, could be worse. Run block power and run block finesse literally minned out at 60. Absolute garbage. Pass block of an 82, again, is only 1 point from minning out at 81, so that's pretty bad. Pass block power and pass block finesse, again, is 1 point away from minning out, which is pretty bad. Impact blocking, though, is pretty good. Agility in that mid-range could be better, could be worse, but in that mid-range. And then acceleration is probably the best stat he has, which is not good. You kind of would prefer your pass protector to be, better at pass protection, but either way, John McGinnis is kind of the poster child of like what I mean by if they were better, they would obviously be better. But this guy is not very good, so don't get fooled in the trap of like, hey, here are his stats. No, he's a normal dev. He fits the mold. Be very careful when looking at these guys. While I'm in the same recruiting class, that way I can save some time and speed this up. Let's go look at another elite dev prospect. As you will see, there will be a trend here in Cam John. Cam John, 72 awareness, upper percentile W. Run blocking is also upper percentile W. Run block power and run block finesse in that mid-range. Pass block power, and pass block finesse, also upper percentile. Impact blocking, upper percentile. Agility, pretty good, as 70. Could be worse, could be better, but pretty good. And then acceleration of a 78. This dude is a super stud, and for most metrics, he's kind of slaughtering it. But now we've gotten to the part of the video where we have another guy in, was it Morel Kuti? Markel? Kuti? I'm assuming it's pronounced Kuti because it's like booty for the Patriots receiver, but with a C. Anyways, this gentleman, as you can see, also elite dev, pretty good stats, right? Not going to go down the whole list. We've done this for several other prospects, but many other elite devs. There you go. But I have this theory, and again, I don't ever advise you just tunnel visioning one stat. However, if you were to tunnel vision one stat, there is a stat I did notice that has a very high hit rate with good right tackles or left tackles in the pass protecting archetype, and that is acceleration. Again, it's not 100%, but if you have two tackles that have very good pass blocking, decent run blocking, like decent impact blocking, if they're pretty similar across the board, if one of the tackles has significantly better acceleration, go with that player, right? If you just go back and look at all the players I've already chosen for you guys, typically, if it was under 70 acceleration, they were normal dev or impact dev. And if it was above 70 acceleration, they had impact dev, star dev, or elite dev. Now, by no means am I saying just look at the acceleration. Again, you got to have the rest of the stats. I will show you examples momentarily of what someone looks like when they have the acceleration, but like nothing else. But again, if they have good prospects or you have good two prospects in front of you, they're both pretty good. They both have the same amount of upper percentile stats or lower percentile stats, but one has significantly better acceleration. 9 times out of 10, or maybe a more realistic number would be 7 times out of 10, the guy who has more acceleration is going to be better. So a great example I can give you of a guy who has the acceleration, right? 76 acceleration, especially for a 4-star, is really high. You would think, oh, beastly. Like he's a guaranteed lock to be elite dev or star dev. He's going to be generational like the 4 and 5 stars before him. No. Right? If you look at further inspection, Elijah Cummings does have really good acceleration, yes. But he's minned out in pass blocking. He's minned out in pass block power. He's minned out in run block finesse. He's almost minned out in run block and run block power. He's almost minned out in agility. He's just too low on too many metrics to be star or elite dev. Right? Depending on your program, depending on where you're at in your rebuild, whether you're online, offline, dynasty, yada, yada, yada. This impact elite or this impact dev tackle could be what you need, right? If you're a smaller program and you're just trying to get dudes, this guy could be perfectly fine for you. But if you want the best of the best, this would be an example of you can't just blindly gun down the acceleration if you're going to omit the rest of the stats, right? If he had better pass blocking, better run blocking, the acceleration, I would use that as the tiebreaker. But considering the rest of his stats suck, you can't just blindly focus on the acceleration. Another example, Bernie Thorne over here. He has almost 80 acceleration star dev. He's pretty freaking good. Henry Linderbaum, 74 acceleration elite dev. That's pretty good. Cooper Coffee, 73 acceleration elite dev. Carl Shelby, 73 acceleration elite dev. Obviously, they have other stats besides the acceleration, but I'm just pointing out that they typically, if you're good at run blocking and you're good at pass blocking, they're also going to be good at acceleration. It's kind of a hand-in-hand stat. This gentleman is a bust, but just pretend the little red gem wasn't there. You could do this all at home. Again, I've given you so many examples this video, whether there are green gem, no green gem, bust, whatever. Tavarius Jennings, you can look at this, and again, crazy acceleration. You would presume, oh, he has to be star dev, he has to be elite dev. But when you do further evaluation, absolute garbage run block power, garbage pass block power, and pass block finesse, and not that good of impact and agility. It's like not great, but not very good either. He's just too bad at too many things. So you can't, again, just blindly go down the acceleration route. But again, if you have great players and they can pass block and they can run block and they're also quick, that guy's probably going to be insane. Just saying. Okay, so I've covered their basic stats. I've shown you what they look like when they're on the scouting board. Now I'm going to show you what they look like when they're already on your team. But very quickly, there is a metric I did forget to cover in the video, which was their average class spawn size. How many 4/5-star spawns? Now, again, this isn't going to be in total, right? I've only done the previous 10 classes I've done, but I think 10 classes is a large enough sample size to be like, okay, I think this kind of mathematically checks out. And you can kind of see this with the numbers. So the average pass protecting tackle spawn rate was 12, 10, 9, 12, 8, 11, 8, 8, 4, and 20. Yes, I had a class that spawned 20 tackles, which was insane. Definitely outliered like crazy. And then obviously the class before it had 4 total tackles, which is also an outlier on the other end of the spectrum. But in my Cincinnati rebuild, where we won a 211 consecutive game sim streak, I love this rebuild. I love this series. Appreciate all you guys who've watched that, by the way. Tyreek Boyd, as you can see, he's a freshman. I know he has tokens. Sue me, he has a bunch of tokens. I have not spent them at all. He's been just riding the bench. If you guys watch my streams, you guys know how this works. But let's go look at his stats real quick. Elite Dev, let's go and compare to what we currently know. So, pass block of an 86, pass block finesse of an 87, and pass block power of an 84. All upper percentile. All really good. Run blocking. 66 run block is kind of so-so in the middle. Run block finesse and run block power also so-so in the middle. Not good, not bad, just kind of in that middle range. Strength, as we covered earlier, can vary between 77 on the low end and 88 on the high end. This dude has 85 strength. That means he's up there as some of the strongest pass protectors I've ever recruited on my team, which is nuts. He's an impact block of a 72, which, again, seems not very good, but considering that, again, ranges from 68 to 83, he's not bad. Could be better, could be worse, but not too shabby. For the IQ, he has 71 awareness, which puts him at almost the best I've ever had at 72. And his lean block of a 75, again, seems pretty bad, but the best I ever found was 78. So he's like upper percentile in damn near every single metric he currently has. Agility, 67 agility, which, again, not the best, not the worst. Could be better, but not too shabby. And lastly, he has 80 acceleration. The best I ever found was 81. So again, almost every single metric Tyreek Boyd has, literally, he's the best or he's one of the best at doing it. Furthermore, small, flex for the video, he has no skill caps. So if you guys want to know what a generational prospect looks like, this is what a generational prospect looks like. I could literally max him out, right? If I wanted to be that guy, what I could do is his freshman year, just max out the stats that won't impact his overall too much. That being things like footwork and quickness and stuff. And then in year 2, upgrade the power/IQ. And then that senior/junior year, whatever I want to do with him, just max out his blocking stats. And he would have literally 99 every stat. It's very disgusting. But yeah, just more examples of what the good players look like when they're already on your team. Sticking with the same team, just on the other side of the spectrum, another tackle is Tyreek Provo. Great name. As you can see, he's not elite dev. He is star, though. He's pretty good. Quick review, his pass blocking. Upper percentile with every single section here. Run blocking, again, in that mid-range. Could be better, could be worse, but he's in that mid-range. For the strength, he's on the lower end at 82 strength. Because, yeah, he's literally almost middle, yeah. He's a few points away from minning out, so he's not good, not bad at strength, but he's decent. Impact block of a 78 is also pretty good, almost maxed out there. Good awareness, again, 1 point away from maxing that out. Lead block of a 78, that's also tied for the best I ever found, so fits that trend. Agility of a 68, that's also pretty good. And then lastly, acceleration of a 79, and the best I ever found was an 81. So this dude, honestly, he's not that bad. Like, I know he's star dev, which technically makes him worse, and he has 2 skill caps where that other guy has 0. But these guys are kind of insane, and you can see how the pattern just kind of repeats over and over and over again. So to round out as the final example I will show for this longer video than what it actually should be, Jamal Bosby. That is a diabolical name. Elite Dev, as you guys can see, Platinum fan favorite, Platinum Pocket Shield, W abilities. Let's run through his stats, shall we? Literally tied for the best pass block power / finesse you could physically have at 87. Pass block power, or pass block, excuse me, is a pretty low at 83, but considering the other 2 stats are so high, I can kind of forgive that one being a little low. The run block finesse and run block power is really high. That is, again, a couple points away from maxing out, along with having a run block stat in the mid-range. That's not too shabby. Again, strength-wise, in that mid-range of an 82, could be stronger, could be weaker in that mid-range, along with impact blocking of a 72. Not good, not bad, just again, in that mid-range. Feel like I'm repeating that a lot here. Lead block of a 77 is 1 away from being maxed out at a 78, and awareness, again, is 1 away from maxing out at the highest possible there as well. Agility, 69, really good. And then to top off, 79 acceleration, which is still, again, is really good, almost tied for the highest range. So if you just stick to the general stats I've shown in this video, I can promise you, specifically with pass protecting tackles, you can recruit them at such a high rate, and they are so easy to develop. Lastly, I always cover abilities with every archetype. We will sound off with this portion of the video. What do I think of these set abilities? And let's go in ability by ability. So first of all, Pocket Shield, improved pass blocking. This is almost a must. If you play Heisman, if you play against any decent defensive lineman, you will watch your lineman get tossed around like a rag doll. Getting this to Platinum is kind of a must. Every single offensive lineman that has access to Pocket Shield, just in general, puts them higher than everyone else, because the name of the game in this game is scoring points, and passing is super easy in this game. Unless you're me and you throw 15,000 picks and you're basically Stevie Wonder reincarnated. Anyways, if you're good at the game, you could pass like crazy. You need this ability. Next is Quick Drop, improved pass block movement, which if you don't know what that means, Quick Drop is basically the opposite end of ability for Quick Jump. Quick Jump is the defensive lineman ability that allows him to basically instantly jump to full speed and instantly curve around the edge of a pocket and smearing your QB. This is the counter ability. So this ability will instantly snap your tackle / guard into the right spot to not have the guy beat him with a speed to power move or a speed to finesse move, just pure speed. This ability is, again, I would not put in the same category as Pocket Shield being, you got to have it plat. But if you know someone is abusing Quick Jump, you need to have this ability as well. Because, again, this ability directly counters Quick Jump. So for your tackles, I would probably try to get this plat if you can. But if you can settle for gold or silver, I don't think there's that big of a difference. But this kind of puts your linemen in better spots to get off the ball quicker. That way your pocket's not instantly collapsing upon you. Play Action Shield or PA Shield is better blocking on play action plays. If you're an online guy, you know how play action is very hit or miss. Sometimes you'll play action and your user obviously will just sack you or whatever. With this ability, if you do have it with the right plays, you can kind of glitch defenses. So there's, again, not going to go into it in this video, but there are certain play action plays that hard brick blitzes, meta blitzes, like mid blitz and stuff like that. So you'll have moments where you'll have like 2 or 3 defenders all come in unblocked and you're think, oh, it's a guaranteed sack. And then like 2 or 3 people tackle the running back and you have a guy wide open on the field. It's a touchdown or a big play. It's very annoying. This play is very vital to that. So if you're doing the play action cheese, this ability is God tier. If you're not abusing the play action cheese to break the AI on certain plays, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. This is completely and 100% situational, again, on your offense and your scheme and whatnot. So I would just hard pass this. The fact I got it for platinum for free is pretty cool. So I get the max out ability for doing literally nothing. So that's cool, but I wouldn't stress over having this whatsoever. Strong Grip. This is something I find really funny. So Strong Grip boosts to lateral shed preventions on run plays. If you guys don't know what that means, basically if a defensive lineman is trying to block shed to your left or to your right, Strong Grip will prevent them from doing that. This is really funny because that's a power ability. If you guys remember, the range for the strength rating can vary between 77 on the lowest end I've seen and 88 on the highest end I've seen. To get tier 1 of Strong Grip, you have to have 94 strength. So if you can see where I'm going with this, there are some pass protecting tackles that you can fully upgrade their power and they will never get the ability. I'm not going to, again, waste too much time in this video explaining it, but more or less, you get approximately 2 to 6 points every single time you upgrade a specific category. So even though I have 82 strength and you see a bunch of those open spaces right there, I could theoretically keep upgrading this and barely get bronze or silver Strong Grip just because his base strength is so low. Now, obviously, if you have no strength caps, then you're perfectly fine. But if you have like 1 or 2 strength caps, you might be cooked here. And considering they're not supposed to be good at run blocking, I would always recommend this ability if you have the points to spare. But if you don't have the points to spare, I wouldn't stress, right? I would put it above PA Shield, but I would put it below Pocket Shield and Quick Drop. I would put this as kind of the third tier where it's very useful when you run the ball, but if you're a passer and you pass every play, obviously, why are you buying a run ability if you pass every play? And then lastly, we have Wear Down. Wear Down is single-handedly, I would put in God tier with Pocket Shield. This ability is a must. If you guys have not played online head-to-head, I know it triggers against the computer, but it's much more effective versus users than the CPU. Fatigue and stamina is a colossal part of this game. If your opponent doesn't have workhorses on their defensive line or their linebackers, this can single-handedly cause basically a player to remove himself from the game with fatigue. It is insane. And the key words here is pass block wins cause fatigue. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but at Platinum Wear Down, it causes fatigue whether or not they win the rep. So by just the defensive lineman engaging with the offensive lineman, they lose fatigue, which is just insane. So if I had like order of operations, the most vital abilities to the least vital abilities for pass protecting tackles, Pocket Shield number 1, Wear Down number 2, Quick Drop number 3, Strong Grip number 4, and PA Shield number 5. But again, if you're doing the glitch with the play action plays, I would just flip-flop Strong Grip and PA Shield, but you get the point. Wear Down is disgusting. And lastly, for the people who are still here in this video, 40 minutes, and I appreciate you guys, this also stacks with every other stamina/fatigue ability. So if you want to be that person and you want to be an absolute menace to your online league, if you stack Wear Down with the other abilities that also cause wear and tear, with your running backs, with your receivers, and with your coach perks, you could basically kill the entire person's team in like a quarter and a half. They'll be going into halftime with their third and fourth stringers on the field because their entire starters are just dead. Not saying you should or shouldn't abuse this in the game, but I'm just pointing it out that unless your league turns off wear and tear, you could bully some people just in the war of attrition. So keep that in mind. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys who stuck around and watched this entire full video. Much love. Leave a comment, leave a little green gem emoji or some sort of gem emoji in the comments down below. And that way I know you've watched this far into the video. I appreciate y'all, and let's get into those holiday shout-outs, shall we? As always, I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, night, afternoon, or day, depending on whatever time you watch my content in the future. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, give me a follow or sub on Twitch. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you can, please become a member. Memberships support the channel a ton. You get early access to all my content, whether it's a few hours early, days early, or weeks early, like the video you're watching now, and much, much more perks in the Discord and on the YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to all you beautiful bastards on screen here. And yet, big extra shout out to all the members also on screen right now. And yeah, guys, I will see you in the next one. Deuces.